Let me try that again. Heidi, everyone. Welcome aboard. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope it's wonderful wherever you are. And thank you for joining us. I better get straight to the pound chart because we're still in yesterday's trade. And I need to do a bit of fancy footwork here to get this thing mobile. Hopefully everyone can now see my screen and we are good to go. Spectrum is green. All right, we've got a genuine range today. And that would be the high, the high of this bar here and the low, wherever that might be, of the current 1 hour bar. I think I can safely set the long order. 139.434 becomes 139.44. That will be the entry for the long. And the stop loss, I don't know yet, because it could well be below this candle. Well, it will be below this candle, but I don't know whether that's going to be the current low or a new low. So yesterday's trade, very, very briefly, bought here at the top of this bar. And it took an age and plus to get TP1, which we got earlier today, and no TP2 yet. We're still waiting on that. We've now come back to the breakout level. Hopefully that will be the key to the next move up. We will see. TP2 139.66 is way up here, so we're a long way from that at this point. So just do nothing by the rules. If you were trading the computer version, you would be out of this now. With a full win on yesterday's position. So the computer's not doing too bad. It looks like we might have to go that way at this point, but we will, of course, update the journal and see exactly how that works out. Ash and I got a bit of work to do on that. Sorry, we haven't been updating it as frequently as we should. That's typical of me. My issue. Okay. I still can't use that low. I'll put it in just in case. It is indeed the low, and I shouldn't have done that. Currently, the low is 139.10, which rings a bell. That was yesterday's entry. Yes, it was. So we'll make that 139.09. The stop loss at this point could change. Looks like it will change. 1.3909. And that would make TP1, if it were to stay that way. We've got, what, 25? Hang on, that's not right. That's not right. We want to go to the low of that bar. I can set that. I'm trading the wrong system. The low of this bar is where we want our stop loss, right, which is 139.24. That's a bit better. 1.3924. There we go. Okay, so TP1 on that we can work out. The risk is 20 pips. That's pretty easy. We'll make that 10. So 1.3954 is TP1. And TP2 will be double the risk, which will be 40 pips, which will take us to 1.3984. Forgot the system there for a minute. So that's today for the buy. I'm going to put that in the market already because I'm pretty sure that that won't change. Again, guys, if you're new to this, we are in beta mode, beta test mode. So this is not a proven system or strategy. So do not put anything meaningful into this position. 1.3944 is the entry. And the stop loss is 1.3924. Okay, we're skyrocketing in the opposite direction. Is that even possible? Skyrockets fall, I suppose, don't they? Righto, there we go. So our entry would be below that bar. at 1.3910. So that was actually correct. I'll actually put that in the market now. 1.3910. And the stop loss, I don't know yet. Looks like it's about 1.3937. I'll put that and change it if I need to. 1.3, whoops. 1 point, don't use that number, guys, because I don't think it's right. Okay, stop loss is above that bar at 1.3936. Okay, I'll leave it at 37 for now, but I'll write the correct level up here. All right, so we've got both orders in the market. I don't need to rush too much. That's good. So the sell is at 1.3910 and the stop loss 1.3936. I'm pretty sure. And TP1 we can work out based on that number, which is, market looks a bit frisky at the moment. That's probably a good thing. 26 pips, so it'll be 13. So we'll go 1.3897 will be TP1. And TP2 will be 52 pips. So that will be 1.3858. 1.3858 for TP2. Righto. I think we're set like jelly. Okay, we haven't got stop loss in there, have we? Or SL, as it were. Righto, sorted. Okay, so there we go. They're the parameters, guys. If you want to follow those trades, then happy days, go for it. But as I say, if you're going to trade them, please trade them at micro lots because we haven't proven the system yet. Okay. Now, updates before Ash comes in on where we sit in terms of our trades that we had pretty much in the market as of last week. Sorry, I'm just switching YouTube on so I can monitor that. There we go. Trades we're in. All right. Just updating trades from last week. CAD Swissy, we got stopped out. We were trading pretty much a break and retest of the weekly pivot on H4 from my recall. Yes. Double cross on the weekly pivot. We got triggered in, but we didn't get TP1, and we're still in search of that lower high, which is really what we were looking for in the first place. No, that's a bit of a mess there for me on the 4-hour chart. Daily, maybe tomorrow, but nothing there right now for me. Maybe smaller time frames, but yeah, I'm not that keen at this point. EuroCAD, those of you who have been in the show for some time will know that we are still in that on a monthly chart. And what were the entry levels? Hang on, I'll see if I can find that. I'm on a different account. EuroCAD. There we go. 152.05 we're looking for TP1. We're a long way from there, still 120 pips odd from there. So yeah, nothing to do here, guys. We're trading this bar here, don't forget. I've got euro dollar on there. I want to have a talk about that a little bit later. Aussie US dollar. I've got an order Aussie US dollar from last week. Sorry, we're in that trade. We've taken TP1. Somebody asked me about TP2. I don't know if I set a TP2. I don't think I did. Two schools of thought. One would be take it at the highs, 78.18. I don't know that I want to do that, frankly. I think this has got plenty left in it. So I think here's TP2 for me, 80.75. If it's actually probably target for me. Yeah, I don't think I want to stay in longer than that because I think I'd be looking for shorts as a retracement after that point. Certainly take TP2 there for me and get most of it off the table. That's what I'd be looking for. Dollar Sing, finally we got TP1 out of that. Not by much, but that was earlier today on Dollar Sing. And of course, since then, the Dollar Sing has rallied. Look, that's to be expected. We're not too concerned about that. We've got our stop loss above the weekly pivot at the moment. Now, those of you who follow the way I trade will probably be saying, but hang on a minute. The stop loss should now be at 20 pips above entry, which is 1.3265, because that's where we took our first profit. Yes, that's true. However, I think the most sensible and logical place to put the stop loss is above the weekly pivot and DR3, just in case we get a spike up for no reason. And that would be the logical place for me to have our stop loss at the moment. So that's why it is where it is. So it's not quite a free trade yet, but you know, if we get knocked over, you haven't even lost the price of a coffee, even if you're trading on a reasonable account. Not a consideration. New trade this morning. Aussie Kiwi. Wow, what a weird setup this was. And I was kind of intrigued by it. And that's why I thought, I'll just have to place an order here. But what's happening now is pretty much what I would prefer to have seen in the first place. As you can see, we got a gap down yesterday, a gap up yesterday, and the gap closed very, very quickly, but then pulled straight back off it. That's a weird looking candle for me. And the question mark I had of myself was, is that enough retracement to take us up here in a third leg, if you like, 1, 2, looking for a third leg. I'm rather pleased that didn't trigger, to be honest, and I'd much rather pick this up down here somewhere. So if this can continue to retrace and go back to the weekly pivot / monthly pivot anywhere in that area today, then I will be looking very, very closely at it and looking to enter another long position here on Aussie Kiwi. We've got no risk left on Aussie dollar. We're free trading that, so that won't be a consideration. We won't need to aggregate our risk on that. So I'm more than happy to take that position should it transpire. Best case scenario. Well, there isn't one. There isn't one on H4 at the moment. There may well be one on H1, and that'll probably come from maybe here somewhere. A little trade line through here, which gives us a support level. Best case scenario, we come underneath there. We actually hit the daily or the weekly pivot, then get back above, retest it, enter. That'll be best case scenario for me. Will we get there or not? Who knows? But that's probably the level that we have to get through. That's the one we have to contend with. So maybe the weekly pivot doesn't even come into consideration here. If we break here, get back above that confluence area, then I think that's the place to go long Aussie Kiwi. I'll keep the order in the market for now, but I suspect very, very much so that I'll be looking for a far better entry than the one that we've got at the moment, which is just above that bar there. I think they're the only trades I'm in at the moment, but I'm watching very, very closely pound Kiwi. Now, those of you who have been watching Ash and I for some time now will know that pound Kiwi, I've been kind of sweating on it for quite some time, trying to get back into this channel and trade it to the top of that channel. Now, that hasn't even looked like being the case any time in the recent past, but there's a beautiful little tweezer bottom sitting there at a support level. this level here. So I don't actually trade that as such, but there would be far worse things to do, in my humble opinion, than find an entry around this area. There's a nice ascending triangle sitting there as well. I think we've come above the most dangerous level. We've closed above that most dangerous level, which is this level here. But as you can see, recent history suggests that the market doesn't want to go through that 192 level. And that's pretty much where we find ourselves. So it's a little bit tough to be saying, okay, go now. But this is interesting as I speak. We've got on the daily chart, that little break that we saw that closed above those levels I was talking about. Nice little pullback here to the weekly pivot does start to get me really interested. You've got a nice double bottom sitting here. You've got a nice higher low sitting here. I think another higher low in this vicinity does get me interested for the long. It will be a little bit difficult trading into that level. So, I really want an entry a bit deeper than that. If it came to the monthly pivot even, that would be super if I could find that. But there's no trade for me there at the moment. We are at the wrong position. But let's check a little bit later on, maybe the hourly chart, and see if we can get down to this level. Maybe even don't have to, similar to what I just said on Aussie Kiwi. We can find a trade line coming across here, I'm sure. And if we were to find a false break scenario there, I think I'd be willing to go, even if the weekly pivot, as yet untested, wasn't tested. We shall see. That's pound Kiwi. We placed... Ash, I think you... G'day, mate. How you going? Sorry,
good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, going well, thanks.
Good.
You left in an internet incident last night.
I did.
I hadn't placed this trade, had I? On silver, or had I?
No, you hadn't. No.
No, but I think we spoke about it.
We did. We did. We were speaking about it, and you said that it was the right kind of setup for you, and you were looking to potentially place that trade.
Yes and no. It fits the criteria, but it's not as good as you would like it. And when we say, the key reversal bars close on or near their low, you'd like it to be probably a little closer to the low than it actually did close. But yeah, a micro lot on this is not a funny thing or not a silly thing, because if it does go, we might finish up with a big M here.
Do you know, mate? The most interesting thing. Hi, Helen. The most interesting thing I find about silver is that that price action that you're looking at with that black bar on that week, much of that was caused by the Reddit crowd.
Yes,
as they pumped the price up, and I guess the institutions soon sold it off again, which makes it a very, very difficult bar to read, because there's kind of a different set of people that are involved in that particular bar. And they bought it up, and they've cleared out. Supposedly now they've cleared out the way. Now I don't know whether they're going to try and attack silver again, but it's more of it's not a supply and demand bar, if you like. It's almost a bar that is being produced by people playing a bit of a game against Wall Street, and it does. I think it makes it a very, very difficult bar. The fundamentals on silver are actually pretty bullish, and also I'm looking at gold, because gold and silver do tend to kind of like move in hop step with each other. I'm looking at gold. Gold hasn't really picked up as yet, but I think tomorrow's CPI numbers are going to start getting quite interesting. We got CPI year on year from the United Kingdom. Some PPI, some RPI, some HPI. So a lot of price index reads from the United Kingdom tomorrow. But then you have to add the CAD to that as well. CAD's got CPI tomorrow as well. Quite a few CPI reads, PPI from the United States, some core PPI from the United States as well. So gold and silver start to become really interesting when we're starting to talk about inflation. Oh, there's the dollar now. Yeah, we need to get to. Maybe we'll get together on Sunday, mate, and see if we can update this journal, because
yeah, that's a good idea.
Don't want to lose sight of doing this properly. But yeah, so gold and silver are interesting. Now, gold hasn't really moved. I think silver is showing much more intraday, if you like, kind of bullish signs than gold. Gold's currently sitting on the futures at 1820-ish, and it hasn't really been able to break out of a very, very tight range between 1821 and 1817, really, 1815 maybe you could argue. So it's pretty tight in there. I don't know whether the CPI numbers from a place like the United Kingdom and Canada provide that much in the way of gold, but I think it probably will, considering that we are looking at what's going on with the CPI data and inflation data to see whether gold does get a pickup. The fact that we're back on as well with the United States today, I think is also interested as well. The US markets. And the bond market, I think, is the one to really watch. This is what I'm looking at to see if I can get a hint, because the valuations in the stock market appear to be high. They appear to be overblown to a degree. But the question is, if people are going to be taking their money out of the stock market, where are they going to park it? And you'd have to say that the place that they would naturally go to would be some kind of treasury. Now the treasury is currently sitting at 1.2, and I think we touched on this yesterday. I think it gets interesting at 150. If the 10-year bond goes to 150 basis points, maybe to 200 basis points, then we start getting interested about a potential sell-off in the stock market, where people can get that margin of safety from something like the bond market. If it goes to 3, I think we see an all-out rout. But I wouldn't be surprised to see just a little bit of cutting back if we see that bond market pop up to 150 and maybe 2, a 2% yield. So that's the key metric. Now, the reason I bring that up is that with a bond market doing something like that, it doesn't necessarily tend to be the best friend of gold. It really sort of like gold is quite useful when bond yields start to decrease as well. So it's an interesting pot. It's an interesting mix going on, and in that regard, we have to really start looking at the price action to see what's going to happen. Will people then maybe sort of like start migrating towards a bond, but towards the 10-year, maybe even the 30-year, but more towards the 10-year, and gold. If we start to see the 10-year move higher, and we see inflation kind of picking up at the same time, I think it could be quite an interesting summer, and I wonder whether we are actually waiting for that before we genuinely see a drift to the downside with stock markets. Little bit of weakness tends to come in around about now, between now and the middle of March, with stock markets, and we saw a bit of a blowout yesterday with the FTSE, but I'm looking to see whether this market is getting a bit exhausted here. I find the pound also a fascinating currency right now. As I said to you yesterday, I quite like pound Aussie short, and I quite like the pound yen short. The question is possibly going to be more about timing than it is about anything else. Is it the right time to be shorting the pound? The fundamentals from the United Kingdom don't look great, and again, that CPI data is going to be interesting. CPI starts to pick up a little bit. Does that support the pound somewhat? So the likelihood that we get that downside just doesn't come.
Yeah, it seems to me there's a bit of a sentiment about the pound at the moment.
Yeah, there is, mate.
Bullish sentiment.
Yeah, absolutely is, and this is the fascinating aspect, isn't it? That trading is down to fact and it's down to speculation. The facts are pretty damning, I would say, for the UK. The speculation is very, very good because the vaccine rollout is going extremely well. And if we looked at what happened last year with the numbers for the UK, it was one of the worst performing economies when it came down to how they handled the pandemic, lockdowns left, right, and centre, coming hand over fist. But they are rolling out the vaccine really more successfully than anybody else. But we also know that the vaccine isn't necessarily a silver bullet, with new strains kind of coming in. The policy that's going to make all the difference in the United Kingdom, in my opinion, will be testing. Can they get the vaccine rollout to continue at the same pace, but also increase the testing ability. Because if they can, then they could really protect people when it comes down to some of these social gathering events. And that's also been mentioned. That there is going to be some sort of testing meeting, a meeting on testing, and can they roll out some decent testing that's going on? But
what's the current situation with testing?
Oh, it's pretty much non-existent. I mean,
wow,
this
really?
is one of the. I mean, it's there. It is there, but it's not centralized, and I think that's some of the issue. This is one of the issues with being a free economy in some regard. Where there is a lack of respect for the powers that be. You wouldn't have a situation like this in a country like China, or probably Singapore either, and that's a pretty free economy. Relatively speaking, you just wouldn't have the kind of situation. Everybody would use the same way to track and trace. But in the UK, there's there didn't seem to be one central way to do it. But if they can somehow get that going, so everybody is legally bound to test and trace, then I think it would be a lot more successful. But
well,
they don't seem to.
They jump on it so fast here. If there's one case, man, they're tracking that like no tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's not really like that here. But do you know what's happened really? It's more of an experiment. Let's try it in Liverpool. Let's try it in Manchester. See how it goes. Rather than sort of like going countrywide. This is the way it's going to be. I think they've probably tested it sufficiently enough in these areas to see that there has been some success with it. But as I say, there's not one kind of like big central system. And until they get that, then I think that they're going to be battling. They're going to be kind of pushing dung up a hill, as they say.
Yeah, well, I suppose, there's 3 million in Australia. I don't know, 25 now, I think. But that's only one county in England, isn't it?
No, I mean, the UK is, there's 66 million in the UK. So, yeah, okay. So it's an extra 2/3. But I think when it comes down to numbers, like that, they've rolled out the vaccine to around about a quarter of the population of the people that they wanted to roll it out to. So if they can do it with that, then I don't see why they can't. And they're intending to practically vaccinate the whole population by Christmas. So if they can do it with that, I don't see why they can't do it with some sort of test and trace system. Will people be responsible? That's the other thing. Will people actually sort of use the app and responsibly say, I've got COVID, and the behaviour of some of the people over in this country would suggest that they probably wouldn't be responsible, and that's again some of the issue.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Hi, exactly. Paul P. Paul's asking you, you're sharing your screen, Ash, and the answer's no to that. And Helen's got a few comments there as well. Hi, Helen. I haven't heard from you for days. What have you been doing? And hi, LT. Good to see you too, mate.
Apparently, pound dies whatever it wants. So if bond yields go up, what happens to gold? It depends, really. If bond yields go up and there's no inflation, then gold will probably fall. So I'm not watching the bond yield for gold, to be honest. I'm watching the bond yield for the stock market, because there is a margin of safety that stock traders want whenever they buy an asset, and if bond yields are low, then in some respects there is a margin of safety, because they're not, they don't need to get quite a high as yield from a stock if bond yields are low anyway. But if you've sort of, so you would want an element of safety above the bond rate. So let's say the bond rate is at 1.2, and you want an extra sort of like margin of safety of another 5%. Then you're looking at something which is going to give you a yield of 6.2%. But if bond yields start to increase, then that 5% margin of safety kind of like starts to put certain stocks just completely out of reach. So people are much more likely to go. And you think about it, it's not people. I'm not talking about retail traders. I'm talking about pension funds. If pension funds can return to their investors by doing practically nothing, that's what they're going to do. They're going to go, right, we'll just buy a 10-year bond note. If it's at 3%, we can return 3% to our share. We can return what 2.5% or whatever after fees to our pension holders, and we don't have to do anything. We don't have to go out there and get in the risky aspect or the risky side of the stock market. We can just sort of the US 10-year is practically bulletproof, practically. So it's a much more attractive proposition if bond yields start to go higher. So what I'm looking at every day really is to see where that bond yield is going. And there are certain areas that I'm not interested in. I'm not really interested in if it rallies from here to 150, but if it starts to get around that 150 level, I'd like to see what the price action is at that point on the stock market and see whether there might be a few that start to just cream off the top and say, we're going to take some of our asset allocation away from stocks and we're going to start putting them in bonds where we can get this guaranteed return. So watch out for it, and you only have to open up Yahoo Finance. You don't need it on MT4. Just open up Yahoo Finance. In fact, should we just take the screen very briefly here, mate?
By all means, mate.
Here we go. So just open up Yahoo Finance, and you can see here. Just put in the Treasury yield. Treasury yield 10-year. And you want to watch the 2-year as well. Just watch out for some of those bond prices. But at 120, that's the yield that people are going to get. But if we put in the let's say Treasury Treasury yield, and let's put in the 2-year as well. Well, maybe they don't have the 2-year.
Stand by for Scatman, guys, by the way. It's Tuesday.
We can have a look at the 5. Yeah, not as interesting. But look at the 30-year yield. Further down the ladder, it's going to offer you less. Every time you sort of like look down. But the 10-year is the one that tends to be the most interesting. So this is the one I'm watching out for. But if we bring this up, bring up the chart of the US 10-year. Let's bring up the chart here. Look what's been happening. And if you look at this over let's look at over a 2-year period, it's been falling and falling and falling and falling, which is obviously going to be bullish for stocks. You're not going to get anything for your 10-year, but it looked like it started to bottom out in around about September. There was down to 0.5. Now this bond yield is slowly starting to creep to the upside again. And this is this is going to start getting interesting. Now this area here is where I'm watching it really around about the 200 basis point mark. So if it starts to get up to these levels here, then I think we probably see some easing back in stock market. But as it creeps higher, then I want to see the price action. Are there already actors that are starting to ease off their allocations at this area? And as it spikes higher, then I think we start to see a much more acceleration, an acceleration in what those pension companies potentially are doing. And this is where COT data starts to become interesting. Looking at the COT report to see, what's going on, and you don't need to know too much about the COT report to see, what's going on. We don't even really need to open up the chart really, but if we have a look at what Ray has done on the COT report, then he can give it to us, and we can go down here. Look, the 10-year Treasury yield on the 6 month there is buying. This at 78%. Now anything above 80, it starts looking pretty bullish. So you can see that there is some short-term buying going on here from the institutions. And then we want to look at the NASDAQ, and we look at the NASDAQ and see, look at this selling going on here. Only 5% here. The index is down to 5%. That's what we're watching here, which is showing this selling pressure coming from the COT report. S&P is still relatively bullish at 45, but it does kind of lead us to say, well, if the 10 years starts to go higher, then really the riskiest area is the NASDAQ. And the reason the NASDAQ's the riskiest area is that it contains so many growth stocks rather than value stocks. And value stocks tend to do, pretty well out of a recession as everything goes up because they are value. So the growth story looks like it could be getting pretty close to topping out up here. So watch out for the 10-year and watch out for the NASDAQ, because I think if we're looking to trade anything short, it will probably be the NASDAQ, but it's incredibly difficult to short the NASDAQ. So yeah, that's where we're at, mate. Now we need to get to Shukri, I guess, right?
Very shortly. I'll just whiz around the grounds on the 30-minute charts because there is a bit going on today out of the blocks. So I'll just have a quick look at that. Then we'll go to the Scat Man.
All right.
First thing I notice, of course, is the CAD Swiss that we've been waiting on that lower high for, right? Has actually occurred, but no trade for me. I don't see a candle there that I can trade. The only possibility for me to get into this now would be if we got to pull back to this trade line. Would I? As long as I've got room for a take profit before the weekly pivot, I wouldn't have a problem with it. That'll be okay. EuroCAD's also on the move. This presents to me not a buying opportunity, but a potential selling opportunity. Now, we are in this on the monthly chart, don't forget. So we are still at risk on this, albeit minimal. I need something more than what I can see at the moment, but loving retracement. It's a big and swift one, but yeah, it's interesting. Not sure what's going on there, but yeah, up here, great place to enter again, I would have thought. Aussie snuck back above the broken trade line and a little bit quick. Again, the market's moving quickly. I'd like to have seen another candle close underneath here, then get above it, then retest it. Everything's happening a little bit too quick for me to get to line up the ducks on the pond at the moment. But if we do get a bear bar here, I think I would place another entry long on Aussie dollar. We are free trading that first position after all. Dollar Sing, I don't want to touch that. That's just free trading. Well, not quite free trading, but we have got a TP1 on that. Aussie Kiwi. Now, this is interesting. I was asking price to come down to the weekly pivot, you'll recall, then sneak back above, give us a retest. This may well be the case on smaller time frames. We're going to have to wait maybe an hour or two, but if this were to come down here, that would be awesome and find its way back above that trade line, retest the confluence area. We've got a long on there for sure.
Quite like the Aussie, do you, mate? Generally speaking?
Yeah. I don't see any reason why anything could overtake it at the moment, frankly.
Yeah.
Including the Kiwi, including the CAD. Or the CAD's based more on that bad number. They had a bad print on unemployment figures, and we spoke about that yesterday, unemployment figures. But I think oil's at a pretty toppy area too. So I'm expecting that to come off a bit. I'm not saying it's going to reverse, but I think it can come off a bit. So I think even Aussie CAD's a buy. Pounds question mark, don't know. But I think everything else, the Aussies got it against them, frankly. So yeah, I'm quite keen. Pound Kiwi, as I said, we're looking for that again, but certainly not on the small time frames. We're back to the big picture thing here. And that double bottom or tweezer bottom sitting there looks very, very juicy. I just want to find a reason to get into that, frankly. That may well come with a weekly pivot test as well. But I'm looking at 30-minute charts at the moment, not anything else. 30-minute charts. On Euro, you can see that there's a little bit too much movement there for me to be trading these 30-minute charts at the moment. And the pound trades, well, we've got one long, we've got one short. Both have been triggered yesterday. Of course, we're free trading that one. But today doesn't look so flash. We got pipped into that. And at the moment, that's not looking too good. The silver chart, and Helen, yes, I did place the order on the weekly chart. I don't just have the levels handy at the moment, but basically trading underneath that bar with the stop loss above it. I can give you the stop loss, I think. Stop loss is 27.82. No, 27.83. And the entry, no, I have got it in front of me. Sorry. 27.85 is the stop loss. 26.65 is the entry. And again, I don't trade silver, right? So this is really just trading candles and nothing more than that. So please do not put anything meaningful on this. It needs to be traded in micro lots or something like that. And I'm glad you had a great day at the pool, mate. I can see him. I can not quite hear him yet, but I'm sure he'll spring to life any second now. Hello, Shukri.
Oh, hello. It's a million week.
It's a what week?
It's a million week.
A million week?
Yes, because tomorrow I shall reveal some traders in Malaysia who are about to make $1 million ringgit. And I think on Thursday, Paul's going to tell about the $1 million trader, right? So it's a million week.
Uh-huh.
Let's say in Chinese, right? Happy Chinese New Year.
Yes, indeed.
Happy Chinese New Year. Yeah, and things are going crazy in the crypto world, just insane.
So what have I got to do with Kusama? Nothing yet?
I'll tell you, nothing yet, but I'll tell you where we can get more information. But first, the most important lesson of all is this, okay? I'm going to show you a very important lesson here. The new market cycle, sentiment cycle. Because you have all this in crypto. We're supposed to be seasonally going down. And guess what? Elon Musk releases a tweet and now nobody knows where it's going. It's just going up and up. It is totally bonkers. Okay, so again, Jeff, we have the heir apparent to Trump's tweets.
Yes, I was just about to say, we just got over one person, and now we got to put up with another one.
And we had to put up with another one. And guys, the only thing is this guy seems to be more, more inclined towards bullishness, but be careful, okay? His tweets does cause some things to go down, but he's a good guy. So he basically caused this massive crypto rally. And yesterday, I think he also released a tweet that, he said he said he's okay if the holders of Dogecoin sell all their coins. So it went down. And then he said that, okay, if you want, I'll buy them from you.
Wow.
Who said that, Shukri? Sorry? Is that Elon Musk?
Yeah, he said that. He said that, it's okay if all the Dogecoin holders sell all their coins, and it went down, of course. And then he said, no, I'll buy it from you or something like that. And then went back up again. So this is the new king of the tweet, okay?
Wow.
Well,
and now
there's two things in my head when I hear that. It's kind of market manipulation is one.
I know.
But that means he's dumb.
I don't know that, but people are saying.
Well, what he should do is sell now because the world's going to come to an end, and then buy. Why would he say I'm going to buy from you at this price? That's.
He's crazy, but if you look at the filings from Tesla, they bought Bitcoin like 35,000, so it's now almost 50.
Oh, is that what the price was? Yeah, that was what my big question was, Shukri, is what price did he get in at?
35. So what happens now is that, a lot of people say that he might get into trouble with the SEC, but he was cured by the SEC before, right?
Why would he get into trouble by the SEC? Because he's disclosed.
Manipulation. Yeah, this is like market manipulation. But that was the problem he got into with Tesla last time when he caused the stock to kind of crash, right?
Yeah.
So that, I think the SEC already cleared him of that. So let's see. But he
probably buys them, does he? He just buys the SEC.
Why is that market manipulation, though, Shukri? Because, he's got a fiduciary I can't think of the word now, obligation to disclose what he's buying and selling. So all he's done is told the world, right?
Yeah, but the SEC's task is to protect the investors, especially the smaller guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's become an issue. So let's see what happens. But hey, Elon, he can just tweet away.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you like it, I'm sure.
And it's good. He's not like Trump, okay, Jeff. Like Trump, if he causes the market go down, he doesn't come back and say, okay, I made a mistake. Can you guys push it back up? Because Elon does that, okay?
Okay. Now I get it.
He's a tweeter with a conscience, okay? So he's a good guy. He's one of the guys. So Bitcoin is nearing that. Polkadot has gone up to around 30, which is the all-time high, about to break. But this story of this week, guys, is Kusama. Look at what Kusama did.
That's me.
That's you. That's what I said. Guys, can you guys please memorize this? Jeff is still in training, okay? But look at the impact on Kusama. Okay, can you guys like focus now?
As soon as I ended, awesome.
And look, okay, there's a range. It goes up, it goes in another range. It just goes up here in another range, and bam, it is off and away.
I'm ×2 at the moment. That's
yeah,
good.
×2. And you said it was expensive. Jeff?
It bloody well was. I don't buy anything that costs 100 US. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Right? But look at that. Look at that.
Fantastic.
But most importantly is to understand why, right? So let me bring you to the site. This is the tweet of Kusama, okay? So when you are in crypto, tweets are so important. Tweets move markets. There's no forex factory in cryptos, but everything goes to the tweets. So some people have even built a pseudo forex factory based on tweets. So it's all about Twitter, right? So look at this. The thing with Kusama is it's about to go, right? And this is very important. Look, sub bounties are rewards. So they have started giving people rewards for staking into Kusama. See, long term. Look at that, long term. It's all about the long term game. Now I don't know, Jeff, have you gotten that tattoo yet? Look at that.
Have I got what?
The Kusama tattoo.
No, I haven't.
The Kusama man.
No, I haven't.
And look at this, okay, why this is hot. And I'm going to tell you why some Malaysians are going to become ringgit millionaires or more. Look at this. The art of chaos. This is NFTs, non-fungible tokens. This is what this is all about. This has become the sudden hot thing, but I'm going to tell you more about it yesterday. You guys know who Gary V is?
No.
Okay, Gary V. Gary Vaynerchuk, the most #1 influential tech blogger in the world, basically gave a tweet. I'm going to show it to you tomorrow. What did it say? NFT. So that sent the NFT space totally wild.
Wow.
It went wild. And you guys know Flow, right? So this is Flow. I got it at 10 cents. And this is why some Malaysians are going to be millionaires, ringgit millionaires. Let's see how much they're worth now. So if you had bought 1,000 worth of this, it would be worth 184,000 US dollars now. It goes to 25, they become ringgit millionaires, just like that. And again, this was an example of that day where it was doing like this, about to go down. I, of course, sold it here. I was proud of myself. See, I got the top. And when that came, okay.
Whoops.
Whoops. So yeah, this is what's happening in the crypto world. Okay, but anyway, so Kusama is up. It's good because now people are doing what? People are preparing for these things called crowd loans. Okay. Again, I'm going to tell you the bullishness of it. You guys decide. Because someone asked me when, if I was bullish on Polkadot, I said no. I said we kind of want to be bullish on more on Kusama now because it's crowd loans, and I think crowd loans in Kusama are going to start in March, and probably Polkadot are going to start in April. It was supposed to be February and March, right? So I think it's March and April. So Kusama,
Bitcoin does that, Shukri, right? Bitcoin's also got crowd loan opportunity.
Bitcoin doesn't have that. Bitcoin is not used a lot for this. Only the Polkadot coins. And in the Polkadot coins, it is Polkadot, which is the main hub, and the next one is Kusama. So Kusama is the test net.
Mm-hmm.
So usually before they deploy on the main net, it's the test net. So how do you know more about this? Again, This is crypto culture. Okay, what you need to do is you go here, and this is where crypto differs from basically the rest. And if you go into the website, guess what? There's not a lot of information here. Let's go to tokens. See, there's not a lot. No, let's go to tokens here, Glimmer and River. So we bought Kusama because we want to bind into River, right? We want to give them a loan to go into River. But guess what? There ain't nothing much, okay? See, the deployment network and all that, it's not here. It's really not here. So we have to ask ourselves, we want to follow now because we bought our Kusama. Where do we follow up? Okay, let me show you where. Let me share the screen. You can get updates from Twitter, but most of the information is from Telegram. You guys see that Telegram group, right? Sounds like by Osama. Okay, anyway, so this is the Moonbeam announcement channel. Okay, so you can see what's happening on Moonbeam. Now, this is very important. Like, look at this. So because Moonbeam will deploy experimental on Kusama, but the main one will be on Polkadot. Same. So look at this. We have a live workshop where Solidity smart contracts with Chainlink oracles. Now, what is Solidity smart contracts? They're part of Ethereum. So you can see here what Moonbeam is doing. See, integration of Moonbeam platform with existing Ethereum tools. So they help to bring Ethereum applications onto Polkadot. Now, this is different from ADA. Okay, I think ADA Cardano is doing something really revolutionary.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But you have to write in that language. This
Right.
is different, right? This you can bring whatever Ethereum apps and just port it over to Polkadot, okay? So, you know, they partnered with Chainlink. See, and look at this, unmodified. Look at that, unmodified. That's very powerful. You don't even have to modify it. See, and you can see that when these things are happening, that means it is already starting, and you can see all the partnerships here, right?
Does that affect the price of Ethereum, Shukri, when you got all these players that are basically trying to take it on?
No, not yet.
Will it eventually?
It will, yeah, because but Ethereum, the user base is so big, it's so huge. You know, it's so huge, and whatever it is, Ethereum will still be the king. Right. But you know, we like challengers, and then I guess the most leading challengers now are basically Polkadot and ADA. ADA is coming soon, and the problem is this. I think it's not really about technology, right? Because we saw this. It's an MBA case study. Also, although it's an old one, right? This technology of what? There's Betamax and there's VHS, right? And Sony's Betamax was always better than VHS, and Hello who won in the end, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, it is about the what? It is about the acceptance. Cost. The cost. Yeah. I mean, if you want to go to another platform, there is a cost there. It might be better, and there is a cost. Okay, so that is what determines it. Now, I am going to give you the address here for Moonbeam Announcements so that you guys can join it. Okay, so you want to know more, it's going to be there. This is where, okay, let me put in this. So there's Moonbeam Announcements and Moonbeam Official. And let me put that in the Telegram group because you really want to know what's going to happen. And these are exciting things here. Let's go there. Yeah, Moonbeam Official, right? Yeah, Moonbeam Official and Moonbeam Announcement. So this is Moonbeam Announcement. All the announcements are there. That means when it is time to bind Kusama, it will be here. Look at this. Again, published information regarding our website. There are two tokens, Glimmer and River. So look at this. Glimmer is the token for Moonbeam, our deployment to Polkadot. So 16% of the network for public sale. This you have to bid with other people. River, what we're interested in is the token for Moon River. Again, the deployment to Kusama is intended as a companion network to Moonbeam, permanent incentivized canary network, a small one. You know, you make sure, like Jeff said, right? Make sure the canary is alive, go here, right? So new code will ship to Moon River first. Remember that, they're experimenting, where it can be tested and verified under real economic conditions and proven, then only it will go to Polkadot. Since Moon River is where we deploy code first, Kusama will have full parachain functionality before Moonbeam, okay? So 60% is to you guys. 60% is for the community. Here, how much is it? 16. Look at the difference there. So the best chance to participate in this is through the crowd loan. This is cool. Okay, this is cool. There will be no founders rewards on Moon River. That means there's no one there. Because when you have this, you know, Ash, it's like, you understand that there's always vesting, right? And you always have to look at this. Oh my God, when are their tokens released and when are they going to sell? There's none on Moon River. So I think that's really cool. Okay, so you can see here all the announcement here. But if you see here, look at that. Ash Bull is there. Was that Ash Bull? Where's that? Where's Moon River?
Oh yeah, I've just joined. Yeah, I've just joined.
Yeah, where's Moonbeam? Yeah, look at that. So you can see here. See, everyone's now asking, when can I buy token? It is exciting. How do I invest? Look at that. Everyone's FOMO, but they don't know Jeff is here. They don't know Jeff is a big man. And he moves to Sama is here. Hey, guys, gotta be careful. You might not get in. So look, when and where to buy Moonbeam. We've announced it. See, everyone says when token sale. Guys, don't do that. I'm telling you this, okay? Like, man, Helen, don't do that, okay? Don't say when sale, when token sale.
So what are you saying? You saying don't buy it?
No, buy it, but don't ask them.
Oh, I see.
Too many questions. Don't FOMO, okay? So just
how do we buy it?
No, what they will tell you is that when the time comes, they will give you an address, right? And this is why you guys need to know on what. So this is what will happen here. Yeah, as you see the FOMO-dization here. They will give you guys a wallet address.
Okay.
Okay. And then what you do, it's with your Kusama, then you will send it to here. Now this will be your wallet. So let's say this is W1 and Jeff is here. Okay. Now Jeff might have many wallets, W1, W2, W3. Anytime Jeff connects to the Moon River wallet with W1, he will see how much he staked. He will see how much he put here. And when the time comes to remove, guess what? He will get it back, probably 2 years. In the meantime, what does he get? He's going to get River tokens, right? So his River tokens should actually go there. But we don't know the type of wallet yet. I think it's going to be a Polkadot wallet.
So do you have to own something which is Polkadot derivative to be able to buy it? So you couldn't just buy this from USD?
No, you have to buy Kusama here actually. Yeah, so Jeff actually bought it. You bought it from crypto.com, right, Jeff? Yep. But I'm sure that you can't connect crypto.com here. When the time comes, we have to put it in the correct wallet. I think it's going to be a Polkadot type wallet. I don't know which one yet. And then you shall connect here to pledge your allegiance. Don't worry, Jeff. You don't have to get a tattoo for this, okay? I'm sure you don't.
No, Ted. You sure?
No. This is Moonbeam. This is not Kusama. This is Moonbeam. This is not Kusama. You look at the number of people joining. See, it is totally going berserk because people are excited. See that? Because people are excited. So yeah, so let's go down here. So for this, you have a lot of information here. See, River token information and tokenomics, they have it here. Thanks. What's unique in the project? What's your killer feature? Yeah, and then they're saying, okay, this is all the information. So here is where the moderators are. Okay, look at this. To obtain Moon River, you'll have to lock Kusama. The crowd loan will be at the end of March. Oh, no wonder everyone's going in. It's the end of March. No info about when yet. Yeah, so this is when they give us the right date. We will get all this information, and that's when. And yeah, let's set up another wallet for you next week, Jeff. Yep. I think I know the wallet, and then but don't transfer any Kusama yet. We'll just set a Polkadot wallet for you. Did they say any Polkadot? Yeah, it has to be Polkadot, right? Yep. Yeah, it has to be Polkadot network. So that's what we'll do. Okay, guys. So get ready for next week.
Shukri, how do these things ever come down? I mean, obviously this is not institutes that are involved in this stuff. So if they're saying you've got to buy Kusama to buy this, then why would anybody sell Kusama until this releases out? Which means that there's going to be no supply. So Kusama's probably it's got to go higher.
Yeah, it is. And even if it go, but nothing can go high forever. Now, the good thing is I saw the statistics. I forgot where I saw it. But now, what's happening is that even without the crowd loan, 50% of Kusama is locked. With this, guess what? I think another 10, 20% will be locked. So you have 70% locked. That means there won't be a lot of sellers out there. I'm not going to say this is different and the markets never come down, right? That would be wrong. This is Chinese New Year. We don't want the Chinese gods to punish me, right? So we don't want that. Okay, but anyway, see, look at this, right? Hi, mate. I've been holding KSM on Binance for a while. Where is the best place for me to hold the crowd loan? Is it in a specific wallet? Hello, this is to be determined. Yes, it will be in a specific wallet. So similarly for Jeff, he will have to transfer KSM from crypto.com to that specific wallet, and we'll look at one of the specific wallets next week. So see, everyone's asking now, right? See, no one's asking about the project. It's like, when can I go in? When?
Exactly.
So
that's the fascinating thing, isn't it? Nobody seems to care about what this thing is providing. They just kind of they know it's just it's about spiking. And you following this all, Jeff?
Oh, well, I follow what's going on.
Yeah.
This is like mini contagion. and as you say, they've got no idea what they're doing. Be like me, The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm being mentored, right?
Yeah.
So I don't care what the price does. I just want to know what happens next.
Yeah, it's. I mean, what is the functionality? Has it got any value? This thing?
Yeah, it brings it will bring Ethereum apps into Polkadot. For example, one of the good Ethereum apps, actually the MetaMask wallet. Soon you will be able to use MetaMask on Polkadot. That's very important. So some things like CryptoKitties and all that, and all the NFTs that are on Ethereum, because Ethereum is so expensive. Man, just to do some transactions on Ethereum this week, I had to spend $200. It is crazy expensive. The only reason why I'm spending that, guys, listen to this, because I'm making much more money. But still, if you were a starter here, it would be difficult. And one thing I can't do now, which I did before, right? When I was doing the wallet class, I could give you guys free tokens. Sorry, guys, can't do it now. It is way too expensive.
Yeah, it is. I know what you mean. It's what is it, like something like $50 a transaction on Ethereum?
Yes, 48. Yeah. Last one I did was 40. It's all above 40. And I still remember the days when in 2017 it's like 50 cents, $1. And last year it was like $11, and now it's like $40 for it to go through. Because if you are going something that's not going through, guess what? You could be paying $30 anyway, and it didn't go through. I just adjust it so that, okay, I'm going to pay $40 and it goes through. I mean,
this is the thing, mate. Does Ethereum, in some respects, become a victim of its own success because of this? As it gets more expensive, the charges go higher, and I suppose this is going to happen with all the cryptocurrencies to a degree, apart from Bitcoin, which is more of a store of value, I suppose.
Yes, everything's going to happen. Yeah, it's a victim of its own success. That's why Polkadot is good. It reduces the gas fees. But I think the most interesting technological development is actually Cardano. They've gotten rid of all the gas together, which is quite amazing. Incredible.
Yeah.
So Jeff, before we go, can you reinstate Charles Hoskinson's? He has ended his ways.
Shukri,
okay. I've back on the team then, right?
If Cardano gets these smaller coins as well, is there going to be a way? Will you at any point be able to talk us through a way that we can use our Cardano to buy those coins?
Because the first batch of my class we were focusing on Polkadot, right? The second batch will go into Cardano.
Oh, when's that class?
Yeah, so the first guys, the good thing about the guys who attended the first class is that now they have two to make money from. They can make money from the Polkadot ecosystem and from the Cardano ecosystem. Ethereum is, you don't have to ask any question about that.
I need to join your class, Shukri. Is it at a reasonable hour?
Saturday. This Saturday, following Saturday. Yeah, don't miss it, guys. Don't miss it.
What time on Saturday?
10. I think 10 a.m. Singapore time.
10 a.m. Singapore.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
It's
Singapore.
Crazy. See what's happening now, whether you believe it or not. Now let's see Jeff's picture again. I'm going to tell you a story.
That's 1 o'clock in the morning, Shukri. I'll be up.
Let me tell you a story.
No, it's actually 2 o'clock.
Drawing, okay? Now, this is what happened, okay? Now, because, this kind of drawing, things called meme right now. I got rewarded for a meme. I don't trade this, okay? I got rewarded for a meme about 3 months ago worth US 380. That's it.
For that meme?
Huh?
For that meme?
For that meme. No, for another one. Okay. Now I just put this on an exchange. I just put this on an exchange to be sold. And you know what? You know, I got some tokens for this, right? It's now $8,000. Dollars, not ringgit, guys. US dollars. That's what crypto has become, thanks to Gary V. You see, because the big guys like Gary V, you know, Mark Cuban, right? Mark Cuban even has a song about NFTs. So
don't play it, we'll get barred.
You might be the most famous guy.
This is what I want to learn more about this.
Yeah, I know, right? Cool, right? But we need a Tasmanian devil there. We need a Tasmanian devil to be your friend.
When do we talk about this?
We can talk about it on the Saturday show.
I can't do Saturday.
Introductory. This is an introductory show because you know, the difference between Forex and cryptos. Yeah, we can discuss that then. Next week is the wallet. Next week, if you guys dare go to the next step.
I need to. You need to do it at a reasonable hour, Shukri. There's no way I'll be able to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Ask Paul for the recording.
Oh yeah, okay.
Is that okay? You don't need me in there to cut my hair and all that sort of stuff. Put my makeup on.
You need a Tasmanian devil.
All right, I'll get you a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah,
a live one. Yeah.
Oh my God. Awesome. Yeah. So that's crypto. But anyway, again, let me remind you guys again, in this bullish run, I am selling. Okay, it goes up, I sell. It goes up, I sell. That's what I do. Okay, guys, that's all. Just don't FOMO. Okay, there is another cycle. Keep cool. Keep calm.
How do they join? How do they join the class?
Yeah, it's for the what do you call that? The platinum members or something on Saturday.
Okay, so there's no way into that unless you're a platinum member.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you will get an invitation. Yeah.
Okay, so the guys who are in this room who want to know more would have to join you tomorrow at 8.
I would have to join me tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about NFTs, and on the following Wednesday, it's an Ask Me Anything session also.
Anything?
Okay.
Yeah, but the most important thing this week, okay, guys, I just found the solution because we have a solution now. Now, here's the thing, guys. You don't have to go into crypto to make money. Again, remember the guys like Gary V, the old guys. I'm sorry, Jeff, but Jeff can now be young because he's the superstar now.
He's not old.
Guys, these guys don't have time to do all this trading and all the things that we do. They are into NFTs. Finish. That's it. So this is going to be the new one. And even this guy like Chamat, he's like this billionaire. He goes into Bitcoin only. And when he goes into cryptos, guess what? He's going into NFTs. This is the new thing.
All right, mate. Happy day. So,
Hanan,
I'm sorry to disappoint you. You can't do Saturday, but join Crypto Moon tomorrow. You've changed your time, Shukri, to 2000. 8 p.m. Is that right?
I don't know. Tomorrow is it 8 p.m.? I'm not sure. Is it?
I did see that somewhere.
Yes, because you guys know why 8 is good in Chinese.
Aha, there you go. That's a reason for it.
Okay, I better shoot anyway. It's been
mate.
Brilliant, Shukri, as always. I just wish that it was a more reasonable hour, but I will ask Paul for the recordings. Thank you so much, mate. Really enjoyed that, and it's always brilliant information.
Yeah, see you guys Saturday, man. 8.
All right, mate. Happy day.
Ash, we'll do it 8.
Okay.
Make that like 20. Make that 2000 so everyone understands.
2000. That'd be better. All right. See you soon, guys.
See you tomorrow, mate.
See you tomorrow.
Guys, I'll hang around just for a couple of minutes. I don't think there's too much to update, but I'll update you before I go. And KUSAMA. Goodness me. Who'd have thought? I'm waiting on EuroCAD to return to a bearish entry, or find me a bearish entry, but it's starting to look very much like a false break coming here. If we got a, what's this, the 4-hour chart, which, it's got 3 hours. No, it's got an hour to go, sorry. So that would look interesting. I don't know if I can trade this long. Suppose I can. We're at a support level. There's no question there. Yeah, why not? Okay, so if this bar closes as it is, or even a little bit higher, but the key here is that it closes near its high. If we're up here near its high, forget it, but around about this area near its high is okay. Then we got to pull back to the daily pivot with a bearish decisive bar. Then you've got to trade long on your hands. You need to take profit before the weekly pivot, but then your second profit probably needs to be here. Let it rip after that. That's what I'd be doing. So 4-hour chart, this one closes round about where it is, pulls back, then there's an entry long for Euro CAD. 30-minute chart on the Aussie. Same thing here. We wanted this to pull back. It may be too late for that. No, I'd still cop it. We may have to go to an hourly chart. No, it won't be the same. Yeah, it'll have to be the 30-minute chart if we're going to trade that. But even that's a little bit dodgy, because what I like to see is a break of the support, 2 candles of consolidation, then a re-entry above that trade line, then a retest of it. That gives me the trigger. As I said before, it seems to have gone too fast, and I don't like it when it goes fast like that. There's something emotive in that I don't like, rather than considered. Motive versus considered is always not a good thing. But if it does pull back here, it may well be worth an entry here. You've got to take profit before the highs. Dollar Sing, we're still in that. There's nothing to do there. Aussie Kiwi. Okay, so I said before I wanted us to go to the weekly pivot, then come back above here, retest the confluence area, and that becomes a long as well. That could happen on the 30-minute chart, hourly chart, 4-hour chart. Either way, if it does set up that way, happy days. Again, you'd be going long. Euro Swissy. Why was I looking at that? Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I couldn't enter here. I couldn't go short now because we're too close to that support level. Same again. No, I don't like it. The pivots are too close together. Even if we came back into here, you're running into a massive resistance area. So that's a no for me. In fact, I'll just get rid of it. That can go no time soon. Pound Kiwi, as I said before, this potentially is a breakout, but tough to trade from here. I'd like to see, again, same applies, a bit of consolidation back above the trade line, retest it, away you go. Very common theme, isn't it? Euro dollar, I was looking to probably, I don't want to trade this long. I'm just not in love with euro long at all, but I'm not in love with the US dollar either. So I'll give that a miss for now. The pound looks dangerously close to our stop loss on today's entry, but of course, if it goes long, our entry from yesterday is just going to benefit by that. So not in such a bad position, I suppose, on that basis, but anything could yet happen with the pound. And repeating for you, Helen, the silver trade. Again, guys, this is really not a trade I'm going to hang my hat on, but the entry level is at 26.65. It's a sell, and the stop loss is at 27.85. Very much playing a candle and nothing more than that. I've never traded silver before in my life. That's not true. I did trade one about 3 months ago, and it lost. So yeah, this is not something that I'm hanging my hat on. But if it did reverse, you've got a pretty big reward available down here. There's no question about that. And on that basis, I'm happy to do so. Am I rich yet on Kusama? No, I'm waiting. Well, the higher it goes, the better it is, of course, Helen. But I'm waiting for the next step. That's the part I'm interested in. I'm interested more in the getting in the groove of the what I call investments. whatever you want to call them. You're like me; it's kind of double but Dutch, but it's really interesting. And I need to study. I just need to find time to do it and attend Shukri's classes. So that's what I'll attempt to do. You got burnt on silver. When did you get burnt on silver, Helen? What happened to you on silver? I'm guessing you didn't trade long here or here or several times. Oh, okay. Yes, I can understand why in the last little bit on silver in particular, what this kind of price action is really, really tough. There's no question. That's why I'm very satisfied at the moment to be sitting on bigger time frames. You'll notice me trading on weekly charts, monthly charts, daily charts, 4-hour charts. That's about where my comfort level is at the moment. I'm okay if there's prime setups, if they're gilt edge setups that I trade all the time, no problem. But there's few of those and they're far between at the moment. That one's going to give me the SH12s if it goes down here without me aboard. That's going to be an issue because we lost on that last week, if you recall. Trading on the 4-hourly chart. We said it was early and it proved to be, but now we've got that lower high and it looks like it may go. Double cross on the weekly pivot might be our first opportunity to catch up with that. We'll see. Righto, guys, that is all. And we'll do it all again tomorrow, of course. Thanks, Shukri, very much, mate. Much appreciated. If you want to catch up with Shukri, guys, his show, what time? 8 p.m. tomorrow, Singapore and Hong Kong. And, of course, he'll enlighten you as to what happens next then. Have a great rest of Tuesday. We look forward to seeing you on Hump Day, which, of course, begins tomorrow. And we will see you then. Bye.